If my jiva or the self is inclined and it creates that enthusiasm to go and take a dip in the physical water and to get that experience, you should do it. You have the bulb, the light is everywhere. You cannot stop the light.
Correct.
But it is physical light. But here it is a divine light what is coming. Mela is coming together and also Mela is the rhythm. So in the nature all these are rhythm. This is the Mela and then Kumbha is a container. So physically the container is Prayagraj, but for me my container is my own body. How are you getting purified? Water is the most. But the question comes, is that this water, if everybody is taking bath, how it can be pure? This Ganga we all know very common is Ga in the Veda. It's called as a go, or today we call it as a go. We take it synonymous as the cow, as a cattle. Now with this knowledge, knowing what you are doing, and with that love, and then the bhakti, with the surrender, and then with the humility, when you start getting into this, the water what you have right in front of you in a tap or a bucket or a mug, that becomes Ganga, Yamuna. Whether you do it at home, in your bathroom, with complete surrender to the divine, or you go to that place physically, still the essence remains same.
Namaste viewers. In the past few days, the most searched topic throughout the world in the internet is about Maha Kumbh Mela, Prayagraj, Triveni Sangam or Shahi Snan. Today in this special episode, let us try to understand the spiritual meaning of Maha Kumbh Mela. For this, we have got a very special guest with us, Dr. Nagendra sir, a Vedic scholar and a medical doctor who will help us understand this from a spiritual and a Vedic context. So, let's ask this to an expert. Sir, namaste and welcome to the show. Kindly guide us. There's so much on the internet about Maha Kumbh Mela, what should be done, what shouldn't be done, what is it that's extremely important to be done when you go to Prayagraj, why is it important to be present there, and how is it incomplete if you don't perform certain rituals. So some people probably, if they miss something when they go to Prayagraj with all the efforts and expensive flight tickets, when they come back and watch the few videos, if you have not done this, then it is incomplete. That is probably making them disappointed or getting scared viewing all this information. So in this context, I request you to tell us what is it really all about from a spiritual context. What is this Mela all about? And when we are present there, what is it that we have to internalize and experience internally so that we can unfold it throughout our lifetime? Because they're telling this comes once in 144 years. So this understanding is going to definitely help us to probably experience it and reap its benefits throughout our lifetime. So kindly brief us about what is Prayagraj or Kumbh Mela all about.
Definitely.
Yes.
It's a real blessing that we are discussing such a vast subject.
Yes.
And then today we'll be concentrating, as you said, more from the spiritual point of view.
Yes.
So in a Bharatiya Jnana Parampara, it's always a norm that we take any of these essential knowledge into three levels.
Okay.
One is at the Adibhautika, at the physical.
Okay.
That is the physical. When I say, it means that which is made up of the 5 elements,
Right.
which can be perceived through our 5 sense organs.
True.
I think we have a detailed discussion about all these things in our previous videos.
True, sir.
This is the physical level. Like Prayagraj is a place in one of the state in India, and then where there is, it is bound by time and space.
Correct.
There is a space and then a time bound where you have to do in a certain 48 days in that one mandala. So
Correct.
that has got its own significance.
Yeah.
That is time bound physical level. It has got its own value for
Correct.
that,
Correct.
from the cultural point of view, social point of view, and also energy point of view.
Yes.
Next we have Adidaivika. Daiva is to do with the divine, the cosmic energies.
Right.
Like Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati becomes cosmic divinities, the deities themselves.
True.
Like Saraswati is the goddesses of inspiration. She inspires from within. So you can directly go and then invoke her. So that is Adidaivika.
Yes.
This is not bound by anything. But what we are, that is in the cosmos, that's a macrocosm. So now what we are looking at spiritual is microcosm within me,
Okay.
and spirit is the self. That is called as Adhyatmika.
Right.
That is pertaining to the Atma or myself. So I think we had some good discussion on this. What is this Atma and the self from the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Kosha.
Yes.
And the fourth part, the one who possesses these things.
Yeah.
My body, my prana and my mind. That means I possess this. Ahamkara and Mamakara. Aham is the identity.
Right.
So this is the starting point from which we are looking as a spiritual.
Correct.
This is not to do anything to do with the religious. It's not a religious thing what we are
Beyond
talking.
that. Yes.
Religious is something you put your own framework and try to do that.
Yeah.
But here it is to do with the essence within myself. It is myself is actually doing it.
Yeah.
This needs to be very much clear when we say about the spiritual.
Yes.
So there is a lot of ambiguity about this.
Yes.
Now we should be very clear. The spiritual is something, the spirit or the self or the jiva which possess my mind, life and body.
Right.
This is where our point of discussion revolves around.
Okay.
So if you're not clear with that, then we mix up this with the physical aspects of it, the divine aspect of
Right.
it. Then it creates a chaos. Mind cannot get that.
Okay.
It should be
Fantastic.
clear, it should be clarified that this is a physical aspect, Adi Bhautika. These are the divine aspects, which you call it as Adi Daivika. And we are talking about Adhyatmika pertaining to this self.
Right.
Okay, this self, so whether this self as an individual, should I travel to this place and then actually get these experiences?
Okay.
It is needed, it is also not needed.
Not necessary.
Not necessarily. Because there is a jiva swabhava. Now, if my jiva or the self is inclined and it creates that enthusiasm to go and take a dip in the physical water and to get that experience,
Yeah.
you should do it.
So there's a calling they say
Yes.
commonly. Yes.
This is a calling. And for those who say that I can, let me try, there are a third category who is not bothered about any of this. So that's nothing to do with that. That's left to them. They can watch video as an entertainment or whatever it is. They have their own ways.
Right, sir.
So there are two ways. Some people want to go, some people cannot go. But still they want it. For them, what to do?
Yeah.
This is our idea.
Okay.
So now I can connect this self, can connect to all the selves, smaller self, this jiva around. At the same time, there is a self within each of these places and the reverse also.
Oh.
Okay, because this is the jiva or what we call it as a sattva inside.
Right.
Through that we can connect. Now we'll see what we can do at home and what is representative symbolically in Prayagraj itself.
Right, sir.
So we'll go with the Prayagraj and come back to our own. This is home is my body.
Yeah.
Home is not my address.
Yes.
It's not the physical address.
Right, sir.
Home is Deha.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll try to get a feel of what is this Prayag and what is this Kumbha, what is the Mela. Symbolically.
Yes.
Yaga is Yagna. I think we got a good discussion on this. What is Yagna?
Yes.
Yagna is something to adore, to actually to do a puja or to even a journey is Yagna. A coordinated activity is a Yagna.
Okay.
That's where it's been done in a very big way or even a small form. It's called as Homa or the Havana where we invoke.
Right.
This is Yagna. The same word is Yaga. That is a Prayaga. That place is where this Yagna Kunda is. This is a representative. They are doing this Yaga in that place, Prayagraj.
Right.
Pra is progressive and then perfect one. So this is where, this is the shining one, Raja. This is the place where it is taking place, but it's not bound to that place. It's just like a bulb. You have the bulb, the light is everywhere. You cannot stop the light.
Correct.
But it is physical light. But here it is a divine light, what is coming. Now this is a Prayag where we are actually performing this Kumbh Mela.
Right.
Mela is coming together and also Mela is the rhythm.
Like in Kannada or Sanskrit.
Yes, it's a very common term. Mela is something to bring it together in a rhythmic fashion. So you see the people come there and they have a rhythm. They go in such a manner.
Right.
It's like flock of birds,
Yes.
like a fish going together.
Yeah.
So there's one very interesting thing about ants. So we always wonder why it goes together.
Yeah.
So each ant doesn't have its own self there. It's a group.
Yeah.
So a group, what it goes, if one ant can think, every ant can go in the same way. That's how the nature is.
Yeah.
Or even when you will be wondering why the birds don't
Birds,
clash, just like a traffic, they don't hit.
Exactly.
Because they all become one. For us, these are these different birds with different wings. But all these body of the birds are one, all the wings are one. So they go in a rhythm.
Wow.
Even when they make sound, it's a rhythm.
Yeah.
So in the nature, all these are rhythm. This is the Mela. And then Kumbha is a container.
Right.
So physically the container is Prayagraj. But for me, my container is my own body.
True.
Now either I take my body there, container, but what is important? What is the content in that? You should be always worried about what is the content, not with the outer one.
True.
So now this container you can take there and then be in that container and take the essence of it.
Yeah.
Or there is an essence within this container and essence within that bigger Kumbha, in the smaller Kumbha, and then you can connect
Irrespective of the...
wherever, irrespective of the time and space.
Wow.
Now when you are physically being there, then you will have from the physical level itself, if you are not very sensitive to the non-physical or metaphysical experiences, initially it's difficult. Then you go there and you start your journey there.
Yes.
If you already have these non-physical experiences, if you are ready for it, you can do that. So now what you do at home is when you are actually taking bath. So the taking bath is a phenomena where you are also taking bath there.
Yeah.
So why are you taking bath? To get purified. How are you getting purified? Water is the most. But the question comes, is that this water, if everybody is taking bath, how it can be pure? How it can purify? A very common question.
Yeah.
But is it the same water there? It's a river. What does that mean? Every time it is flowing. So I dip in every moment there is a movement. This is a river. That's why, and what it is bringing? It's bringing the energy and purifying.
Yeah.
This is taking out the impurities.
Yes.
And it is going away, it's not staying there.
Yeah.
If you take it in a pond, then it's a different.
Yes.
This is a huge. Ganga is one of the biggest ones.
True.
Coming from the Himalayas.
Yeah.
So this is where it is important, the flowing river. Okay. Now there are 3 rivers in this. I will come to that, what is the significance of this,
Yeah.
and then we'll see what we can do at home also. Now the words, we have the Ganga as a river, Ganga as Yamuna, and then Ganga, Yamuna, and also Saraswati.
Right.
This Ganga, we all know, very common, is Ga, and then in the Veda it's called as a Go, or today we call it as a Go, we take it synonymous as the cow,
Yeah.
as a cattle.
Yeah.
But if you see words like a Gopura, Goshti, all these are to do something with not the cattle, but to do with the knowledge.
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
Yes.
Okay, Goshti is where there is exchange of knowledge. So this Ganga is bringing this abundance of knowledge from above, from the divine itself, with all the rush that has been actually historically what we say, or in the Purana what we call Purana. Purana is a history, there is no doubt. Itihasa Purana comes together. We have Bhagirath, because of that she gets the name Bhagirathi. And then Lord Shiva, he actually reduces the force of this knowledge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, for a first standard child, if you give 10th standard textbook, what happens? It cannot take it.
Yeah.
It will burst.
True.
So it gives, this is a mercy, this is a love of the Divine Mother to bring it down, and Father tames. Say that it's okay, I know you want to give all the love, but plus don't be in a rush. That's the role of Father.
Yes.
He says nourishment is also important, not just the love and the knowledge.
Right.
Okay, then they bring it down. Then I take this as a knowledge. Ganga representing the knowledge aspect of it. Knowledge is what? Knowing.
Okay.
That is that is a Veda. And then at home, what do we do? Now, when you say that this is my self, inner self, now I get a knowledge that of this Ganga. When I say Ganga, be here. Gangecha Yamune Cheva Godavari Saraswati. When you say Ganga as a knowledge aspect of it, now I know what I am doing. You know and do it.
Wow.
Both are important. So now you are knowing it. That aspect of it knowing is taken, Jnana is by the Ganga.
Yeah.
Now we have the Yamuna. Yamuna is a twin river. We have the Gemini or this like a Mithuna. Yes. Whenever there is a two, the coming together, what we call it as a friendship, as a love, or it is a bhakti. Bhakta, Bhagavanta, bhakti. Now Yamuna is bringing the aspect of love, affection, and then friendship together. Now with this knowledge, knowing what you are doing, and with that love, and then the bhakti, with the surrender, and then with the humility, when you start getting into this, the water what you have right in front of you in a tap or a bucket or a mug, that becomes Ganga, Yamuna. In the essence,
Right.
which my inner self can actually connect to. When you are connected to this, then what happens? Something emerges out. That is not obvious outside, it is hidden. Gupta Gamini as Saraswati.
All right.
Now, Saraswati is flowing under. We have the satellite images and everything.
Yeah.
But the physical river is dried up. We know the Saraswati civilization, then it became Indus, then it became Ganga. They moved to that.
Right.
Indus is Sindhu.
Yeah.
Okay, they moved to Ganga basin, and then that's how we know that history also. Now, when you are doing it there or here, the Saraswati tries to come out.
Yeah.
So, in the Vedas, Saraswati is the goddess of inspiration. She inspires and then brings it out. Whatever that comes from outside is motivation. That is Prabhava,
Okay.
coming from outside. This is Swabhava, going from inside out.
Wow.
That is inspiration. So, we should be inspired. If somebody motivates, after some time it dies down.
Yeah.
If you get inspired,
Oh, wow.
so then it remains forever. That is the role of Saraswati. Now Saraswati as a goddess, she is inspiring, and then she is coming to a container which is filled with knowledge and love. And this Saraswati is actually Srujana, Srushti. When it is actually performing, it's coming out, the action, it's the best action somebody can do it. Most creative and the divine action. With the jnana, the humility of bhakti or the love, and then you do the action. Any activity you do, that becomes divine. This is the divine life or the conscious living. So you become conscious of what you are doing. There is a knowledge of that, becoming conscious, and then the joy of actually, when you have that ananda as a bhakti or that surrender, and then you are living life is the movement,
Yeah.
that gati, then it becomes the life what you are performing. Whether you do it at home, in your bathroom, with complete surrender to the divine, or you go to that place physically, still the essence remains same.
Yeah.
Now it's up to the jiva to which anubhava or the experience it wants. Based on this, we can say what is important to myself. So that this self, whether here or in that place, connected to all the selves there, to reach that higher self, this is the Sangama what we are trying to see.
Wow. Sir, as you were telling me about bhakti, love, gnana and inspiration, I was also getting flashes of all the mythological stories associated with all these beautiful rivers, where Krishna and Yamuna are associated. Beautiful, Krishna comes with bhakti and love, and Yamuna comes with Shiva consciousness, where you said how his knotted hair controlled it, and that flowing of the water from the Shiva's knotted hair makes so much more meaning now with what you explained. And Saraswati with all the wisdom and the stories associated with Lord Brahma and all this makes so much more sense now. Thank you so much, sir. Well, viewers, for all those who have been to Prayagraj and enjoyed this blissful experience of being in that point of Sangam, I'm sure has made a lot more meaning to that experience. And for those who are willing to experience this, for some reason you're unable to go to that specific place, you can definitely experience the whole essence of it by connecting to it through your inner self. With this explanation, I'm sure you will not regret about not being in that spot in these 48 days. Rather, make your own place, Prayagraj, and experience being in that Maha Kumbh Mela with your inner self. Thank you so much, Doctor. We are looking forward to learn a lot more from you in the future episodes. Do comment about what is your experience in being in this whole episode of the Triveni Sangam, or if you've been to Prayagraj, what are those flashes of blissful experiences you have had, or what is that beautiful takeaway that you got from this episode in your own way. We will see you again in our future episodes trying to understand more about the Vedic knowledge. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste, Doctor. Thank you, everybody.